Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Orange versus DK. We did have a power outage. I was trying to do a tweet commentary if we're not. I was tweeting Euros, bans, and whatever else. But let's quickly bring it back to draft. It's going to be Chen, Weaver, Rubik, Batrider, and Darkseer for the Radiant side. DK is going to be sporting himself a Visage, Earthshaker, Nyx Assassin, Leshrac, and a Gyrocopter. Let's talk about a little bit about the stakes. Loser for DK. If they lose this match, they're probably out of the tournament. Orange, very important match for themselves as well because they're going to be playing for some seeding. They're definitely in for day 3. They just want to know how deep they could go into day 3, how many best of 3s match they would have to play. And again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties. Aoi, what do you think about the last couple of pick of the draft here? Earthshaker, Leshrac, that's going to mean that we have a lot of long range initiation and follow-up and burst damage. It also means that Visage is going to be playing as a... No, it's going to be Leshrac. Leshrac playing as a farm, which is not that big a fan of. Meanwhile, the other side, there's a Weaver, so...
Yep. I mean, the Leshrac, one thing that the Leshrac farmer does do is it allows him to be in position to stun the Weaver right away, since it seems like they're going against the Weaver. Because if your support, you're sort of a bit more far back, whereas Carry will right up there. Fissure is not that long, so you can chain up the Split Earth. If they get that combo off, he will die to the Soul Assumption, Fissure, Leshrac, Split Earth, and a couple auto attacks. The one thing I don't like about Orange's lineup is that, about DK's lineup is that it seems very rigid, whereas Orange can sort of move their Chen to wherever DK has a solo. Like, we've seen a bit about of Gyro versus Darkseer or Gyro versus a Batrider. It looks to be Darkseer, which I think Gyro does better in than versus Batrider. He can flak the creep out, wave out. He can rocket barrage if Darkseer tries to go on it. But that completely changes if there's a Chen there.
Right.
So I feel like DK, if they do this offensive tri lane and they put the Gyro at solo top, he's going to just get dove by the Chen creep. You're going to see Ironshot himself, Tensor Killers, Ironshot on the Chen creep, Surge Chen creep. It'll be a Stomper or a Netter or something like that, and Gyro will just feed, and then DK will have to break the tri lane. And none of these DK heroes really sack that well. I would say their best option would have probably been you have to like move the Visage up and leave Leshrac and Earthshaker down there. But then Chen is really good against dual lanes like that. So I would favor the laning stage of the draft to Orange. The one thing that DK does have going for them is that I think that in these they won't lose small skirmishes.
Yeah.
The team is so good at that.
They have the ton of range, they have a ton of initiation power. Fissure, if you catch one and it's Split is right there to follow up, they're dead. I mean, I just want to echo your point about the rigidness of the Radiant, or of the Dire. It's so easy for Net and of course now Extinct to be moving from lane to lane. They have that smoke of the seed, and no matter which lane they're not in, both Darkseer and Weaver will be absolutely fine. Ohio up the top lane playing the Darkseer, he's going to be just double Iron Shell straight up. He knows his support is going to be close by. Me on the bot lane, they have, Fissure, Split's going to hit, no, it's going to miss. They almost have to use this combo at the exact same time, or it's not going to work out. And any kind of miss combo, that is so costly for the Earthshaker because, well, his mana pool is not that high. He has the clarity immediately. And they're kind of wasting some precious time on the Sentry Ward. I guess QQQ and, of course, the Earthshaker could move off and gank mid, but that's somewhat obvious as well.
One really clever thing that Burning did to buy himself one wave of EXP, that's all he bought himself, was that he just sat in the hard camp at the left side so that Chen couldn't grab that right away. This made sure that Chen has to go all the way to the right side to grab a creep, and then he rocket barrage the creep wave down so that the Darkseer and the Rubik couldn't really pressure him that much. But this is looking really good for Orange still. They didn't ward the pull, so I expect Weaver to get this pull off, and it's alpha walls, which means that he can deny a full wave with just that single spawn instead of having to stack it first.
Yeah, he would have to deny a half HP on his own creep.
Yeah,
but he will get the deny off if he wants to do the pull. So far, he's not really in position to do so. Maybe QQQ will disrupt the pull if it does end up happening. The bigger thing for me is that Burning has not got a single CS. Oh, he's got one, but he's not actually seen the creep die for the last couple of seconds. Darkseer is right up to his tower, but there's a Rubik in the jungle. There's a possibility of Chen ganking out. He's not playing with any wards. He does see Net right now hovering at the in the river spot, and now you can see that Burning up top immediately going into the creep zone and trying to find himself a little bit of last hit and a little bit more EXP.
The thing is that even if this top lane and the bottom lane, they both sort of, like, top lane farms more for Orange, bottom lane farms more for DK. The problem is that mid lane, Batrider definitely beats a Nyx. Unless, like, Nyx gets really lucky on runes or something like that and he gets a gank. But Batrider should, like, almost always out-CS the Nyx pretty heavily.
Yeah, and also let's not forget about Extinct in the jungle. He hasn't actually came out at all yet, and I think that favors Orange really big time because DK does not know where the hell that Chen is, and they have to always play a little bit scared, so they're missing a little bit more CS. You can see Burning again up top. Now that he doesn't know where that Rubik and Chen is, he has to play ultra defensive. And Extinct doesn't even need to gank. He just could stay in the jungle if he really wants to and just rise up. And having a quick level 6 Chen is a big deal, but instead, they're making a gank. They won't find themselves Burning because Burning is playing ultra safe, which again, Orange is completely fine with. Because
I really hope that this Chen doesn't try to push his tower, he just AFK farms during this. Because I feel like if you push his tower, you give Burning somewhere to get EXP in space.
Right.
If you don't push, like, sure, you push a tower, you get 200x gold. Who does that really benefit at 4 minutes into the game? I mean, it's nice for the supports to get boots, but it doesn't really matter.
I mean,
and Weaver's going to Visage here at bottom.
Wow,
I think he's just gonna die.
He's got to be very careful where the Spliff's gonna miss. Mushi does have Sakuchi. The Fisher's gonna hit, and the creep wave, as well as a couple of right clicks, gonna do the job. Mushi likes to play ultra aggressive. He likes to make plays, but unfortunately, I don't think that was a position for him to do so. Not against all of these long range.
That was
nukes.
a bit weird, just because he knows he has sentries. If Visage gets Grave Chill on you, you basically don't attack him. So he must know that it's ridiculous. It's really risky to do that. Even like, and there's a fissure. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best play here for Mushi. He gave up first blood as a result, and he didn't have to make that. Well, looks like they were making a go here for Burning. Burning has been played so defensive and so well for the past couple of minutes or so, but now he's going to be in big trouble. The breach speed, the jukes are coming out. He's going left and forth, trying to juke. Oh no, the Surge Centaur. He's salving up as well. He's going to try to tangle through. He still have the tangle being applied. I think he might even survive this. He's going to TP out.
The Centaur still has his stomp. Though.
Yeah,
he
does.
He
does. He's going to have to juke back and forth still again, and I think the Surge and Iron Shell will finally get the kill. But he had wasted a ton of time. Tier 1 tower has destroyed up top. Well, it's like you said, now he has a little bit of more breathing room to farm.
Yeah, I mean, he did waste some time, but this is a carry they're killing, so time wasted will pretty much always be in favor of Orange there.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that was nice was that Nyx was able to force Batrider home to heal, but that also means when Batrider is about to hit 6 with that full bottle, the full HP and mana, he actually can kill Nyx quite easily with his lasso. I mean, Nyx out-leveled him a little bit, just a tad, just because he forced him home. But he's definitely getting beat by a full like 12 CS at this point.
Yeah, 12 CS and 2 deny. You tell me you value deny. Simply, especially on the mid lane, where whoever hits level 6 or level 7 is going to be heavily valued. Super, though, looks like he's getting positioned to maybe Vendetta up top for a kill. Sentry Ward already laid down by the Radiant team. They expect a rotation. They're not going to get punished by it. So as a result, looks like Super is going to get a mana burn off on the mid lane, trying to apply a little bit of pressure. He will be ball curling away. He does have 8 charges on the Magic Wand, but the physical damage output from KYXY, you gotta be very careful. Turn rates really slow down as well. He's out of mana. He's got Spike, but unfortunately he's gonna get lifted.
Oh wow.
Super making kind of a. I don't think he should have died there, to be completely honest. He kind of overstayed his welcome.
I mean, they were really good at wrapping around on him from multiple angles. But I think you're right. I think he could have just backed up a bit faster and just ran straight. But Visage gets a kill on the Weaver here. Weaver again, he tried to go for a kill, and it just doesn't happen when Grave Chill is there. I think he was really close on this one, but I think Leshak actually could have taken one more hit, and then no, he would have died if Weaver got one more hit. So, I mean, it's risky, and he paid for it, but it was sort of like a calculated risk. If he could have killed that Lashrak and gotten, and even if he died, he would have been a decent position.
Yeah, it would have been worth it if he got the EXP and the reliable go out of that one. But my question to you is, because your top lane is winning so hard, Burning's got no farm compared to the Weaver, because you just got a mid lane kill against the Nyx Assassin, do you even need to take those calculated risks?
Yeah,
you could just stay back and just farm, right?
I feel like just sitting back would have been by far the best option. He also has to sort of know that Rubik and Chen started in the enemy jungle. Rubik didn't get any XP for quite a long time. Visage, because he was in 2 kills, he was level 5 at 6 minutes 20 seconds. That's a very level Visage. As we've seen multiple times.
And that's a support Visage.
Supports get underleveled. And who are the 2? Oh, they're going on mid.
Yeah, well, they're going on top as well here. We'll watch mid right now. Super's going to get lifted back to the fire. And the Impel would hit. He will pop the Vendetta, and that will be the end of that one. Top lane looks like the Disengage came out with the Shaker and Visage TP. But I think the point you were trying to make when you're comparing the levels of Visage and the enemy support is that as the enemy support has lower level than you, the higher level you're gonna be comparatively a lot stronger. The kills is gonna come a lot easier, and the disparity of level and gold is gonna grow wider and wider, especially when QQQ hits level 6. Once he hits 6, like the entire support lineup is his food.
Yeah,
like he could easily get kills.
Like we've seen in all the games, it's sort of funny. The games where support hero gets under leveled is against Visage and Nyx. And again, these two heroes on DK, and they that's their favorite. Like, when supports are under leveled, that's your favorite game as either of those heroes. And they have both of them. Again, it seems like that. And this is a solo mid Nyx, so those supports are even going to be more scared.
Well, I mean, given the fact that so far you could call the supports on the Radiant side somewhat under leveled, they have a 4 Rubik, a 5 Chens. They're not actually doing that bad, right? If Chen finds level 6, suddenly everybody feels a lot safer when there's a global heal on the map.
Yeah, for sure. That Chen heal is really going to help, but with this much burst, I'm not even sure that he can save someone from a Nyx and Visage sort of just running around the map killing people.
And that thing does have a long cooldown as well.
Yeah, they actually relatively recently nerfed the spell. It's now 140 seconds at level 1. So that added 20 seconds, it really does matter.
Batrider has himself a Blink Dagger, one of the earlier Blinks, but I think he was seen by this Observer War, so Dire will be backing off immediately as a result. Looks like Chen's going to be found in his own jungle. Stomp number 1, Stomp number 2, but right now they're not really following up with these stomps. Back in the mid lane, Firefly getting used. Nyx Assassin using a Vendetta and getting hell out of there. Another Sentry Ward being dropped. These early game Sentry Ward, I love them. It's good. Unfortunately, it's going to be coming as a very, very heavy monetary cost on these low-level, low-form supports. This is like the 4th Sentry Ward I've seen so far coming out from Orange Esports.
At the same time, this is the second time that Supers had to use his Vendetta to get away. That's basically 2 kills that were prevented by playing aggressive.
Well, and back in mid lane, Ohio trying to get in position. Super, any mana burn here so far. The Centaur is going to come in. The wrong lane fissure, and no block here. And
that was a pretty... And
well, here comes the Batrider. They're going to find RTK. Blink Dagger catches him. RTK slow this. One nuke comes in from Soul Assumption. Not going to be enough. Nyx is going to get lifted back up. The Fire doing a ton of damage. That's another kill. Fear's just going to come through. That's 2 Soul Assumption from QQQ. There's no kill going towards the way to DK. He's out of mana. He's going to be backing off. And now Orange Esports looking to pressure the tier 1 mid tower. What exactly went wrong for DK there? They were sort of in good position. Was the Blink Dagger really that good?
What happened was they saw Centaurs at low, and they're like, hey, let's kill this. And they blew a Fissure, a Lashrak stun, and a Nyx stun just on Centaurs. And then they Lashrak stayed in quite a up position to try to auto attack again. And your spells are all down, their spells are up, they have a Blink Batrider grip, the fight's gonna go bad.
Right, so kind of getting a little bit bait out by the Centaurs. I guess perhaps Burning got a little bit out of that one for a wave or so, but he was actually forced to TP mid as well, so nothing's going well for DK right now. They're the team that's down 0-3 in terms of the, I guess, the tournament standing. Orange doing a lot better, and I'm not sure exactly where the DK could make a comeback. Do you think with the heroes alone that DK could make these comeback? Like you said, Visage nukes hard, but if these orange guys get highly level, his nukage is going to be comparatively a lot weaker.
I mean, the one thing that DK does have going for them is that they have by far the best carry in this game. Weaver, he's good, but this is also a 0-2 Weaver with less than 3 CS a minute. So the carry on the other team is not that good. They have very good early game heroes like Weaver, Rubik, Chen, Batrider, Darkseer. Very good early game, but as the game goes later, unless Weaver is really farmed, that's not that scary late. Whereas you have a lot of stuns from DK still, plus the Gyrocopter, and Gyrocopter alone is scary. And they have enough lockdown to just get all his flax down and blow people up. And Visage Zimba.
Well, Burning right now, not exactly in a position to be the Imba late game carry, although he's getting a ton of farm time, doing a little bit of pull himself. Looks like he failed that one. Visage, he's got level 6, so those spurts now were starting to become a big deal in terms of, again, disengaging, making sure that they could disrupt the change lane coming out from Orange. They have a ton of AoE defense. Is Leshrac going for Lightning? It looks like he's going to be going for Edict and Pulse. Kind of a little bit traditional of the Leshrac build, especially a little bit more carry variant. The carry version is what I'm trying. Variant. Fuck you, LD. In any case, Super is gonna be farming here in the jungle, sharing a little bit of farm with his friend Burning.
And there's a smoke up here from Orange.
Yeah, they gotta be finding someone actually using Mushi to bait here. So Mushi's gonna be showing another Sentry being dropped down. I guess getting a burning
And
kill is
I
going to be
think-
good, but here comes the entire squadron of the Direct. DK Burning's going to get picked up before the fight even starts. Here comes the Fissures, that's going to hit on Ju. Burning's going to be focusing on Mushi. They got a chain burst him down, but Hand of God comes heal, and looks like he won't have time lapse. No, he doesn't have mana to do so. Post Nova coming in, but there's a mech heal coming out there as well. Chen is going to make sure that every one of his allies is going to survive. Finally, QQQ is going to find himself one kill. Those birds are now locked down. They will respawn very quickly and do a ton more physical output. Actually, that was a fairly decent fight, in my opinion, for DK. They lost 1 for 2. Hand of God and mech was used, but they still got more kills. Really good play here by DK.
That was... I thought it was going to go way better for DK there. Actually, I was... Right before that fight was starting, I was going to be like, oh, this is so good for them. They're going to lose Gyro, but they're going to get 3-4 kills. But then that mech actually really surprised me. That was a very fast mech on the Darkseer, I think.
Yes,
so,
Darkseer.
For some reason, I didn't even think of it. I thought it was like, wow, Chen farmed
Yeah,
such a
I was
fast
looking
mech.
at Chen
I was like,
myself.
holy crap, he's enemy jungle. He's like 11-minute mech. He must have gotten like 8 Satyr spawns and gotten all farm. But the fast mech of the Darkseer really turned that fight around. And I'm actually surprised that with the mech, how well that went for DK. If you look at that fight, Leshak went so low. Perhaps if Weaver didn't die one of those 2 times at bot lane, they actually would have picked off the Leshak and the Weaver would have gotten away.
Right.
So we can see these small mistakes from early, even though they're small, they sort of snowball a bit. Like, calculated risks when you're ahead are still risks. You don't want to give the enemy team any chance to catch up. And that's why you see teams like LGD, they don't let a tier 1 even fall when they're ahead.
Yeah, you don't want to give away any freebie because you don't know how much that freebie is going to snowball, or even, if you want to call it the butterfly effect, bring it that
One
into
thing
Dota.
that I do like is that Batrider, since he's gotten his Blink Dagger, every single lasso he's had has resulted in a really good pick off.
Or, yeah, pick off on the carry or a kill. So very well played. Looks like we have a little bit of technical issue, so let's bring the camera back to the, well, not to the nobody that's... Look, everybody's taking a break when we're casting. What the hell is going on? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Typical.
Back to the casting booth. I'm Luminous. He's Aoi. LD's lifting in the background. I'm not even sure what's going on. But we see, if you look at the Visage, which nobody could see on the screen right now, but if we look at Visage, 1600 gold, 1700 gold, he's playing the support. Do you just go quick mech rush? This is kind of the few instances you have the instant go.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you don't have arcane boots, you don't really have the mana to spam mech and also the soul assumptions.
I think that you can get away with getting a mech and still having mana to soul assumption just because you have a pretty the other team has quite a few spells that they spam throughout team fights, so you're gonna have extra charges from your magic wand. As long as you're using that as soon as it gets to 10, you're gonna have a decent mana pool with that. Mech isn't as mana intensive as mana intense. I'm having so much trouble speaking
Mana
English.
intensive. So
Mana-
I got
thank
you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Do we need to break you two up?
No, don't break
No.
us up. We got the shit. Look.
Look. Okay, mana intensive that people think just because it gives out 5 int.
Five
That's
stats, yeah.
That's 65 mana. So the mech actually only costs 85
90-ish. Yeah.
for its
Close
first
to it.
usage. So it's not too bad. And wand is such an incredibly efficient item. Like normally I would actually be like, oh, go Atos, go Atos. That item's so good. LD, are you crawling on the floor?
Yeah, he's trying to not be in the camera shot, which...
Hello. Okay. Normally I'd say go Atos, but this is like one of the only games I'd say, Atos isn't too good. I mean, that's really rare coming from me. This is because
There's a Weaver on the map. There's a Surge on the map.
Yeah, you have Weaver, you have Surge, even Batrider. Sure, you can Atos him, but he'll have a Force Staff later on. I mean, it is good for killing Chen and Rubik, but as Visage this game, the heroes you really want to be focusing on are the Batrider, Darkseer, and Weaver. Those are sort of the core. Sure, you kill the Hen,
The Hen.
Hen.
The Chen.
the Chen, but he's already going to get his heal off.
Right.
He's going to get his spells off. His creeps are still going to be there, regardless of if you kill it or not. Rubik, okay. Like, he's not stealing anything super huge. He's not stealing a Ravage, really. Echo Slam isn't as good. because
Fissure's
you
a
don't
good
have
spell to steal.
Fissure's a very good spell to steal, but that, again, that's going to come off in the beginning of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can pick the support off, that's very good. But in teamfights, I'd really be going for the Batrider. Because if you can stop that lasso from happening, then your carry will get out of stun. It'll probably be Gyro. He'll get extra attacks off. Like, I can really see he blinks in, grabs Gyro. Nick stuns him with Spike Carapace. Visage just blows him up with the Earthshaker stun.
Well, let's not forget that there's a mech on the Darkseer, so that's going to be somewhat difficult.
And a Chen heal.
Chen heal, so
But
there's...
there's so much nuke.
Yeah, well, as much nuke as DK has, there's a ton of healing coming out from Orange as well. And these heals came from a very early time. You were completely surprised by how early the mech came in that team fight. And I'm actually personally a little bit surprised how Orange lost that fight. because
was
they got
really
an instant
surprised.
pick off with Gyrocopter. It's a 5v4 team fight. Sure, you're down a lasso, but you still have your flame break, you still have your napalms, you still have all your heals up. What really for me was they lacked the burst damage to kill Leshrac.
Yeah.
Leshrac was in the middle of the team fight. He got down to basically 0 or almost at 100 HP, 100 mana. He was in the middle, just post Nova on your entire team. And sure, you have heal, but the AoE damage is completely insane.
That was definitely well played by Leshrac. Before that team fight, I was actually thinking of criticizing the fact that he went Edict over Lightning for this particular lineup. Usually I'm like, oh, I really don't like Lightning. I like
that's what you
stun,
said
Edict
yesterday.
Stats. Yeah. But in this lineup, I feel like you want that burst damage. Because you want to win all these early team fights before Darkseer gets pipe. If you're losing a team fight with this lineup early on, before pipe, then there's probably going to be an issue when they get their pipe.
Yep. So they just won themselves a big team fight for a DK. And earlier when we were talking about Snowball, how Leshrac being able to survive on the bot, and that now they're able to win a team fight because of that. Let's talk about the Snowball that could happen in a couple more minutes. Leshrac won himself a big team fight. Visage won himself a big team fight. Now the possibility of an early mech coming in. What about Earthshaker? If he gets Arcane into a blink, how will that affect how this game's going to go?
I mean, more than anything, Earthshaker with a blink sort of gives them an instant lockdown so that Weaver has to be scared. I mean, Nyx is good at that already, but if they have... like
The more you have, the better.
The more you have, the better. Like, something that a lot of carry players do is like, hey, I'm going to farm safe, There's a Nyx on the map, I'm going to go, like, auto-control, farm everything, it farms super fast. But if you're Earthshaker with a blink, you can't do that anymore. So just by the presence of the item being there, it's going to change the Weaver's farming pattern.
Yep.
I mean, Fissure is good and all as a long-range initiation, but it's nothing like a 3-chain stun from Earthshaker. Because that, like, Fissure, I feel like you can't always get Leshrac split Earth off after.
Right.
Unless you have, like, Blink Dagger on Leshrac, but I don't think he'll go that against Orange's team. He needs to tank up a bit more before that. So, Earthshaker Blink will be definitely good. Another thing that could happen, that I really hope happens actually, is Visage will be very active with the birds when they're ganking someone like Weaver. You can definitely kill him if you Fissure, and you get the Visage birds wrapping around from the fog in the trees, and you get chain stuns off, and then you get the Visage nuke off.
That sounds like it's really hard to do.
It's surprisingly easy in my opinion, but I haven't seen
you're
the Chinese...
also better than everybody else.
No,
so.
well, just by playing it a lot of times, right? Like, Visage is a hero that you need to play a lot of times. Like, we see with the Wisp, the Visage, heroes that I don't know, like, they don't do the same tricks that Western players do, I feel. Even though mechanically, they're probably way more solid.
Okay. That's a fair point. I mean, the bird micros, we haven't been really seeing it too much in like, you know, you talk about split pushing, you're talking about farming neutrals with it. We haven't been seeing too much of that from the Chinese Visage. What we have been seeing is some clutch drops on the familiars, like stunning 4-man, stunning 5-man, or counter initiating.
And they're very good at every time Soul Assumption's up, they throw it out there.
Yeah.
It'll hit someone.
They will find a target. It's not the Visage I play, which I spend the whole time team fight microing
Well, you
my
need to
bird.
wait for them to have this much HP and then you chaos, right?
Chaos, yeah.
Yeah.
Or kill ensure, in any case.
Kill secure.
Kill secure.
Kill secure.
We're waiting for, I believe, Mushi to connect back. It seems like his PC is crashing multiple times. And this is a very good time to tell more jokes. If you have any. You're out of jokes. I got no joke.
You didn't even tell one.
Exactly, I have no joke. Like, my joke, I don't prepare them. They just come and... We're going to look at the player profiles. The one is Mushi, guys.
Oh, we're not
No?
looking at them anymore.
Okay. Thank you, Kyle. By the way, this is somewhat of a downtime. This is currently, I believe, 1 a.m. We just had a meal of Chipotle. And everybody else is taking a break because there's going to be a long day. This is the 5th out of 9 matches that we'll be casting. I think LD and Blitz, or was it God and Blitz, will be joining us later on. Everybody's somewhat tired. They recuperated their energy. We're kind of the boys that is bringing you guys to misstretch. Also, you're going to be cooking a little bit of bacon and eggs a little bit later
Yeah,
on,
we're
right?
going to have breakfast at 4 a.m.
That's
That's when we wake up
That's-
or stay up to cast.
our sleep schedule has been so bad for the
We'll
past...
pretend that we're waking up at 6 a.m. or we're healthy enough to do that.
I don't know.
At least
but,
Dignitas is happy.
yeah, Dignitas is getting a ton of screen time. I don't even know why I'm wearing a Dignitas shirt. It's actually really, really hot. But what we are looking for, aside from the conclusion, the exciting conclusion of this tournament, which will happen tomorrow, definitely tune in for that, is our day off. Because we actually have a day off between player DC. Yes. Thank you, Kawa.
Okay, so let's go back to the game for one thing. I actually see something that's sort of important. If you look at Batrider's build right now,
Okay.
it's 4 in Sticky, 1 in Flamebreak, and 3 in Firefly. 1 and L2. I think I did really disagree with maxing Firefly like this. I feel like Flame Break is such a good spell. I really would prefer for 3-4-2-1 build by level 10.
Okay.
So what that lets you do is it really allows you to defend pushes without having to waste a spell as important as Firefly. And it allows you to burst heroes down, because while we've been talking a lot about DK's burst ability, like from Dashak, Earthshaker, Nyx, Visage, Chen, Batrider, Rubik are also pretty decent burst. They can definitely, if someone goes out of position, you can definitely burst them down. One thing that sometimes is a problem when you have this fast of a blink is that Flame Break's mana cost goes up pretty high. It goes from 80 to 140. But in my opinion, Batrider has enough of a pool. You have a body of a wand. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue.
Here, I do want to ask you a quick question about the Batrider skill build. You talk about you prefer having Flame Break Max in terms of having a better defensive hero in the sense of stopping pushes.
It's also good because you can burst heroes down as an offensive means.
Okay, just doing more damage overall. I personally, I've started to learn playing jungle Bat versus Batrider in the mid lane. How does the skill build actually change? Or does it change? Do you have a standard build? It's a cookie cutter throughout, or
it really depends on your matchup for laning. For example, against a Gyrocopter as Batrider, I would go his sticky first, then I would get Flame Break, and I get stick again.
And then you get Fly for like 4?
Yeah, the only time I wouldn't do that is if I think I can do what YYF did, and he stacked the hard camp, killed that with his Firefly, and then rotated out because he knew the supports would come before his L4 and could get a solo kill and burning. Was it burning? Yeah. So, and so I would deviate from that. In the jungle, I think that you need Firefly at level 1.
Right.
So you can kill the small camp.
And then you keep stacking the big camp.
Yep. And then you get sticky at level 2, level 3. You get I prefer to get Flame Break at level 4. Just because usually you hit level 4 at 3 minutes. What you do is you kill the small camp really quickly with your first Firefly. Then you go stack the big camp. You kill the small camp again with Firefly.
Right.
You stack the big camp, and then you kill that because you're level 2 from the 2 small camp kills, and that puts you at level 4 really, really early. You're almost out of mana by then, so you go back and heal.
Base. You TP with boots.
You TP with boots to a lane, and then you can make something happen very early. It's sort of unexpected, or you can just go back. Like the camps are respawning anyway, so the base heal is not that bad for you. So I really like that. In lane, I've seen a lot of things actually. Personally, I like to go a 2-1-2 build by level 5.
Okay.
But how you get there really depends. You can, like for mid lane, you might want to go 2-0-2 so that you can push out the lane, get a bit more rune control, but then you want that Flame Break at level 5 just because it's so good to be able to Flame Break them back into your ultimate.
So it really depends.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the short answer is it depends.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, kind of Batrider, I find it's a lot more unique compared to other heroes like Earthshaker. Yeah. You know what you're going to be getting basically 99% of the time. This hero does have a very kind of a big depth of how you skill them and how you play him. And well, you kind of don't like KYXY's skill build, or at least it's not the most optimal skill build, but so far they're doing okay. The score is 5-4 right now.
I mean, he's definitely been finding picks. Like these mistakes that I'm pointing out, in my opinion, they're mistakes. The players might think differently. They're not any game-breaking things because these players are more than good enough to do all the things right to a certain extent. I just feel like if you can fix some more optimal plays, they could play even better. Example like Loda's Phantom Dancer. He played really well. He didn't get picked off at all. Yeah. But I felt like if he had gone a different skill build, Micro's Illusion better, he could have played even better. And when you're playing at this low Dota, you're basically striving for perfection. You shouldn't be going like, "Wow, I'm playing so well. Don't criticize me at all." Because as soon as you do that, you're not going to get any better, and people are going to pass you.
I see. Okay, it's a very, very Asian way of looking at things, which I completely approve. This is a mood, by the way, about
Asian power. Yeah. Complete with awkward Asian high
Don't
fives.
even say anything, LD.
LD's just jealous.
LD's.
You know these Dignitas hoodies are really nice. He probably wants one.
They're really hot as well.
This is a bit hot in here.
We can't turn on
the
the
AC. We just needed to be twins.
This is a proper white man high five.
They couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
What happened was LD high fived himself because no one wants to touch him right now. He's still sweaty and gross. He just went like this. Oh god, is he gonna stab me?
He's gonna stab you when you're
nothing. Yo, LD's like my favorite person here.
Yeah.
Second to you, because you're like my twin.
There you go.
You have to like your twin. I think that's the rule.
By the way, we've been trying very hard to get Super Smash Bros. Melee on.
Oh, yo.
If you live in the area, right, Can we make the shout out to like 30,000 or how many people watching? If you live in the West Covina area and you have a GameCube or a GameCube disc of Super Smash Bros. Melee, come talk to us.
Come talk to us.
Because we've been trying to get this thing going for like the past.
We'll give you a tour around the studio.
Yeah.
Anything you want. I'll buy you In and Out, which is the best food ever.
Wow.
You don't get to give away tours.
Are you,
It's not
we
your
don't?
place.
Okay, well, I'll beg LD to allow us to give you a tour. And then, like, look at what we've done to try to play Melee. We've